All aboard the hype train because I'm trying out the Patrick Ta foundation. Hi, it's Jen. I don't normally delve too much into the beauty space, but little known fact, I am obsessed with foundation. Currently, I probably own over 24 foundations. Bummer, most of them just don't end up working out for me. I've tried so many over the years. My skin is 40 plus, super oily. I mean, when I watch reviews here on YouTube of people who say they have oily skin, I'm like, move over because you ain't seen nothing yet. And a lot of foundations just make me break out. So I've tried so many where some of them are just terrible, and then others, the finish looks okay, but it ends up causing breakouts. The Patrick Ta foundation to me looked kind of promising. Quite a few testers with oily skin said it seemed to work out okay with them. So I have one right here. This is the shade Light 1. I was having a little bit of trouble trying to shade match. I did the best I could. I've heard this is kind of an emollient foundation, and I was just really curious about it. It's supposed to be, I think, sheer to like light medium coverage. It's a powder and a cream foundation. So it's officially called the Patrick Ta Major Skin Cream Foundation and Finishing Powder Duo. This is not cheap. It's $52 USD. That's pretty pricey, not drugstore prices. Although when you think about it, if Patrick Ta were to sell these individually, yes, there might be bigger sizes, but the price tag would also be higher. So the foundation, that could be $40, $45, and then the powder alone could be another $35. So while yes, the sizes of both the products are a little bit smaller than your typical foundation and powder sizes, I actually think the price makes a little bit more sense when you think about it that way, but it's still not a cheap product. I've already got my skin prepped, and judging from the other reviews I've seen, you need to moisturize the F out of your skin. So I've done that. I live in Florida, so it's already really humid here. I would say today is an okay skin day. It's not bad, but it's not fantastic. I have a couple breakouts that are healing, and I just had my time of the month, and I always get hormonal breakouts around that time. How I'm this age and I still have really oily, acne-prone skin, I don't know. It drives me crazy, but over the years, I've learned to manage it a little bit better. The compact is really pretty. It's fairly large. I'm gonna put it next to my phone so you can see how big it is. It's almost double the thickness of the iPhone 13 Pro, and it's just a little bit shorter. It has this mirror rose gold finish, and you just can't help but get fingerprints on it. Patrick Ta is selling a dual-ended brush, but it was $45, so I decided to skip that. By the way, this is obviously not sponsored, and I do not have an affiliate link for this product. I do have some affiliate links for some of my other products, like the skincare I'm wearing today. I am wearing the CeraVe moisturizing lotion, and then I'm also wearing the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. Other than those products, I'm not wearing anything else, and I will not be using a setting spray because I want to be able to show how this product wears mostly on its own. So I'm gonna put it on and then maybe do a little bit more makeup and then see how it wears throughout the rest of the day. This is a super duper cheapo brush. This is from this brand AOA Studio, and it was like a set of 20 brushes was like $10. I'm hearing this is actually pretty creamy. And I'm gonna start with my cheek. I'm not wearing any concealer either, but I wanna see how it covers these breakouts over here. They are mostly healed, but they're still there. This color actually seems to be a fairly decent match. And I'm just gonna sort of sweep this over like this. That doesn't look bad so far. I really wasn't sure if it would emphasize the flakiness of my skin or not. It is sort of melty. Wow, okay. It's definitely not full coverage, but it's really kind of melting into the skin and blending well. That's sort of the consensus I've been seeing from other reviewers, is that it looks very natural. When foundation breaks up on me, it's always around my nose area and my mouth, so I'm gonna try to be a little sparing with the product around those areas so that there's not as much to break up. It's definitely not covering everything. It almost feels like a not foundation, if that makes any sense. Try not to notice the weird marks on my neck. I just have these really weird dry rashes on my neck. It's sort of de-emphasizing the blemishes too. Like, it's not perfect, and you can still see through your skin, Let's try to kind of stipple this over the blemish. Okay. Another question I have is this going to cause breakouts? We will see. I am starting to see a little bit of flakiness show up, so I might not try to exasperate that anymore. Keeping it 100%, I'm not really sure how I feel about the cream foundation so far. It looks okay, my socks aren't knocked off or anything, and it does seem to emphasize flakiness in your skin or dry patches. So if you have any of that going on, you might run into some problems. This product seems to be ideal for someone who has perfect skin. I'm serious. Like if you have like that perfect, juicy, moisturized skin, no flakiness, no blemishes, anything like that, I think this would work for you and you don't really need any coverage. So far on me, I'm not really sure how I'm liking this so far. It does feel very creamy going on, but the finish I'm getting, it seems to still be pretty oily. And I literally just washed my face, moisturized, everything like that. But let's give the powder a try. This was actually one of the reasons I decided to buy the product. After seeing other people try the powder, I saw the blurring effect right away and I was like, that looks cool. This is a Real Techniques 402 brush, the setting brush, so I guess that works out. And the powder is considerably lighter than the foundation. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna sort of pat this here. Another thing I was wondering is if you could use another setting powder on top of the foundation. One review I saw, the person did that and they did not like the results. I think I'm just going to use the powder. The other thing I don't like about cream products is how easy gunk gets in it. There's already a little hair in mine, so that's kind of gross. The powder actually is pretty nice. It seems to be blurring out the under eye so far. Like I'm noticing a big difference. So he had recommended putting this on your oily spots, which for me is my entire face. So thanks, Patrick. Are you supposed to put this on your whole face or just parts of it? I'm not sure. My whole face is like super oily, so that's fun. This area gets super oily. My chin is oily. Yeah, you can definitely see some flakiness. I'm gonna take my camera outside too and show you in regular daylight. I think the powder is actually my favorite product out of the two so far. For real, I'm not loving this so far. Sorry, Patrick. Here's an up-close look. It's a little after 7 p.m. I decided to go outside with my vlogging camera to give you a better look at the foundation under outside light. I mean, the humidity might help this sink in a little bit. You can still see quite a bit of redness on my skin, and every little skin flake or dry area is really emphasized, and that's pretty bad for me. So I think this foundation would work for a lot of other people. I don't know if it's a good fit for me. I may try to play around with some other products and see if I can get a good combination. Normally, I do use a lot of other products in conjunction with it, like setting spray and more primer and that kind of thing. So, but look at this. I just don't know if I have the right skin type for this product. Unfortunately, there's zero coverage over my blemishes. Here's blemish number 1. Here are the other blemishes. We're back inside, and I wanted to give you another close-up under my filming lights. Maybe I'm just not meant to wear foundation at all. It is close to midnight, and this is my last check-in. Things are looking a little rough. I will give the Patrick Ta foundation a little bit of credit, though. You can see around my mouth, there's not as much breakup and separation as there normally is with my usual foundation routine. I also have to be a little bit fair because I'm not using setting sprays and some of the other products I normally use for makeup application. I feel like I could still salvage this and make it work somehow. I just have to figure out. My face feels really tight though. And like I feel like the top layer of my skin is really dry, so I don't know what's up with that. I do like the powder though. The powder actually did what it said it would. For not wearing any concealer, I think my under eyes look pretty decent. So this is what it looks like now. It's a bit of a hot mess. It really didn't cover up my hyperpigmentation or a lot of my redness. So my skin still looks pretty uneven, I think. But again, I feel like I'm not giving it a fair shot because I skipped a lot of the steps that I normally do. Alright, I'm back after finishing the rest of my face, and I wanted to share some final thoughts on the Patrick Ta Major Skin Cream Foundation and Powder Duo. I really wanted to like this product. I was really excited about it. I'm a little bit bummed it doesn't seem to be playing very well with my skin, but I'm not going to give up on it. Now, I tested this out with really not a lot of other products, and that's not the norm for me. I realize with my skin type, I need to do a little bit more, so I'm going to be experimenting a little bit more with this product. I usually use the Skindinavia Oil Control Makeup Setting Spray. I also have more steps involved. It's a little bit complicated, and I'll link some of the products I use below down in the description box if you want to see what I do with my ridiculously oily skin, because it can be a little bit much to maintain because it's a little challenging, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm not like upset that this doesn't seem to be working out for me so far, because most foundations don't work for me. And I also wanted to share the 2 foundations so far that I've been using the most. I seriously have dozens and dozens of foundations, and most of them I'm like, ugh, this is horrible. The way this is sitting on my skin as is, I don't really like it. Other testers have said it feels weightless. It doesn't really feel weightless to me. My skin feels a little bit dry. Now, granted, this is on me. I could be drinking more water, and that could be a thing. Patrick Ta's cream foundation just seems to be emphasizing like everything wrong with my skin, and that's not ideal. So I'm going to be trying it out over the next few weeks with some other stuff, and if I find something that works, I will report back here. But the 2 foundations that I normally use, this one is called the Bobbi Brown Skin Long Wear Weightless Foundation. This is not perfect. At the end of the day, it does break up a lot on my nose area and then around my mouth. I can't seem to avoid that. This one seems to not emphasize my skin flakiness. So this is in the shade Warm Sand. On the upside though, the Patrick Ta foundation was actually a pretty good shade match for me. So if you have skin like mine, I used to think I have warm tone skin, but I've come to realize it's a little bit more neutral than I thought. I have the Bobbi Brown foundation in Sand and Warm Sand, and the Warm Sand is a little bit darker, so that works when my skin has a little more color in it. I'm not an outdoorsy person very much, so I don't really tan a lot in the summertime, even though I do live in Florida. But the Warm Sand is good for when I'm a little bit darker, and then the Sand is actually pretty good for the wintertime. It's a little bit lighter. The other foundation I wanted to tell you about, this is kind of a sleeper for me. It's called the Laura Geller Double Take Baked Versatile Powder Foundation in the shade Light. I was really surprised at how well this worked for my skin. Usually when I've tried powder foundations in the past, I get the same issue where it just really emphasizes all the dry patches and then all of the flakiness in my skin. This formula, this Laura Geller stuff, is super creamy, and you're really able to buff it into the skin without highlighting all of the negatives of your skin texture or flakiness and stuff like that. Because it's a powder, it also tends to stay matte longer. The only downside with this foundation that I found so far is it seems to cause a little bit of a reaction to my skin. At the end of the day, I'll have some small bumps and a little bit more texture on my face. Not horrible. I don't think it's causing like major big breakouts, but it does seem to have a bit of a negative effect in terms of just causing a little bit of a reaction on the skin. I really wish it didn't do that, because other than that, this Laura Geller Double Take Baked foundation would be pretty much holy grail level, but it's just not because of that one thing. So that's the only thing about it. For my skin, Bobbi Brown products overall have worked really well for me in terms of not causing any breakouts or having any sort of like reaction on my skin. I really like the formulas because they feel very soothing, and they also just don't make my skin freak out. So those are the 2 other foundations. If you are thinking about getting the Patrick Ta, but you have skin like mine, those may be other options to check out. The Laura Geller and the Bobbi Brown are also luxury priced, but here's something to watch out for. Both of these brands have constant sales on their websites, so sign up for the email list, and Laura Geller will frequently have 40 or 50% off sales, and Bobbi Brown, I've seen sales up to 30%, so 25 to 30% off site-wide. And Bobbi Brown also has frequent promotions where you'll get little gift sets with purchase. So there are ways to get some deals on these foundations. I also got this foundation, the Bobbi Brown, with a full-sized vitamin-enriched face base. I want to say I paid about $72 for both full-size products, and that's quite a deal because both of these products are pretty expensive. So there are ways to save on these products if you're looking for them, but those are the two that have worked out pretty well for me. I've only had this open for about an hour and a half, and the amount of fingerprints it has is crazy. That's my initial review and test of the Patrick Ta Major Skin Cream Foundation and Powder Duo. If you have tried this, let me know what you think down below in the comments. And if you have really oily problem skin like me and you have a Holy Grail foundation, I want to know what it is. Please help. I'm always on the hunt. Anyways, I'll see you guys again in the next video. I'm Jen. If you found this helpful at all, feel free to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel for more videos just like this.